Find your lying down posture. It might be with your legs long or not. And you might put a little bend in your knees. Find your breath, especially long, slow, deep breath. See if you can allow the back of your body to get very expansive with each breath on the floor. Allow the front of your body to peel open toward the ceiling. Allow your jaw to let go as much as possible, okay? It's shocking how much tension we hold in the jaw. So we want some space between the back molars. Cultivate space there, and see if you can also cultivate softness in your jaw. Also the forehead, there may be some tension hiding in there, okay? Could you intentionally draw the eyebrows away from each other, down towards your ears? Allow your cheeks to melt. Your neck is melting, okay? From the top of your head, a wave of softness is rolling down, okay? On your shoulders now, soft chest. Arms very soft, hands soft, especially between your fingers. Belly and chest, hips, okay, glutes are softening. Allow any tension in your legs to melt away. Your calves get even softer, and your feet, especially between your toes. You can use the breath and your imagination to maybe imagine extra space in the places that seem sticky, like you could breathe into and out of them. Now take some time here to watch your thoughts. You can choose to just observe here, rather than getting caught up, taking a ride with any of those thoughts that arise. Just observe. Watch each thought arise. Watch each thought leave. Wait for the next one. And let's bring in a little bit of gentle movement. Put some bend in your knees so that they point up. And then you can walk your feet out as far as you like, as far as your mat is, or even further. And we'll start dropping the knees side to side, so windshield wipers. Okay, and you can make this really gentle and just kind of let gravity take the knees down. Okay, you can make it super gentle. Or, if you're feeling pretty good about it, you can drop the knees low toward the mat, or toward the ground, putting more activity in your inner and outer hip. So you've always got that choice. With these postures, you can always make them quite gentle. Okay, usually there's a way to make the postures gentle, and when you're in the mood, there's always a way to make them fierce. So you're always following your instincts, developing your own practice. Next time your knees point up, pause, and then just knock your knees together. You might even point your toes in toward each other, kind of pigeon-toed. And when you do that, notice if maybe you could put a little extra space in your low back. So allowing your low back to ground toward the floor even more, maybe. And we'll start to move the arms. So inhale here, reach your hands up to the ceiling, and then all the way back behind you. So you're stretching open your armpits and your chest. As you exhale, drag your hands on the floor as you bend your elbows and pull them down towards your hips. Your hands will come down by your hips. Inhale, arms up overhead, big, big, big armpits. And exhale, bend the elbows, pull them down. So let's take a few more breaths like this, okay? Big shoulder movement. Should feel nice, expansion in your chest, some warmth building in your shoulders. And keeping that breath nice and slow. Okay, we do our best to fit the movement into the breath rather than trying to squeeze the breath into the movement. The breath has precedence. Okay, reach up with your hands. Pause there. Extend your legs too. And make the longest shape you can. So reaching out through fingers and toes. And we'll take a little side stretch from here. A crescent pose or banana pose. Okay, you can call it either one. Slide your straight, long legs out to the left. You can take them way out there if you like. And possibly, if it feels nice in your right hip, you can stack the right ankle on top of the left. And you'll feel some really nice opening on that right outer hip, okay? Maybe even up into your low back. So make sure you ground your belly button so that the low back doesn't pop up too high and your glutes are grounded. Let's think about the upper body. Let's walk the hands out to the left. And you might even pick up your shoulder blades and move them a little further to the left if that feels good in your right side. So now we have this great opening along the right side of the rib cage and the armpit. And maybe that left hand grabs the right wrist, puts the right hand, the back of the right hand on the floor, and pulls it over to the left. So let's breathe here. Hold and breathe. Ground shoulder blades and glutes, belly button moves down. Cultivating a whole lot of extra space into the right side of your torso. Rolling down into the hip, rolling out through the armpit. Should feel really good. And we'll bring this back through center. As you're ready, take your time. We're just building it on the other side. So we'll take our straight legs up to the right this time. Maybe the left ankle stacks on top, maybe not. Arms are out long. Okay, and maybe the arms come way out to the left, to the right. We're curving to the right. And maybe that right hand grabs onto the right wrist, puts the right hand grabs the left wrist, puts the back of the left hand on the floor, and moves it to the right. So breathe into the left side. Ground your glutes and shoulder blades and pull the belly button down. Feel a slight constriction in the right side, complementing the openness and expansion in the left. And we'll walk the hands and legs back into center. So stretch yourself out long here one more time, like a nice big stretch, like you just woke up and you're feeling great. A big breath in right here. Okay, with your exhale, pick up your left leg and your right arm. See if you can tap your leg with your fingers. And then inhale to lower them back to the floor. Okay, exhale, left arm, right leg, controlled coming up. Controlled coming down as you inhale. Control the descent of that leg and the arm. Exhale, control the way up. Other side. Inhale, control the way down. So we're just going side to side. Okay, you get that. Go on your own breath pace, nice and slow. Control the descent of each leg. Okay, that's important. We're kind of cueing into your core here. And we're working the abs so very gently. Why are we working the abs in a relaxation class? Because if we put a little heat in the abs, we activate the abdominis rectus, the transversus abdominis in the front. It allows the low back to let go. Okay? Maybe 3 more on each side. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe if you want a little more, you might reach a little higher toward the ankle or the toe. Try tapping your toe. Last one on each side. Nice. Okay, release yourself out nice and long again. Take one more big stretch. And then from here, bend your knees again. Pull your feet in by your hips. And ground your hands by your hips. And we'll take some bridges. So bringing a little more awareness to the back body now that we work the front a little bit. Okay, you want to feel the glutes and hamstrings start to wake up. So before we come up into our bridge, remember that tennis ball, that imaginary tennis ball between your knees. Okay, so put a little bit of engagement between your knees, even though they are spaced out. So inhale here, lifting your hips toward the sky. Make sure your nose points up so that the back of your neck can be really soft, okay? And then exhale, release your hips to the floor. So keep that core control. And if you are really pulling the legs inward toward the midline, you'll feel a sense of stability and strength in your core. And that's always a good thing. Let's start to make the up and down of the hips more rolly, focusing more on being flexible in the spine. So rolling the spine down one vertebra at a time, rolling it up one vertebra at a time. And the whole time you're doing that, the spine is extremely long, so you're trying to move your tailbone away from your head as it rolls up and down. And you're also trying to keep the nose pointed straight up so that the top of your spine, okay, that cervical spine, remains as neutral as can be. Next time you roll up, let's hold there for a little while. Hold and breathe. Put some inward engagement between your knees. Okay, a few more breaths here. Feel that heat building in your hamstrings and your glutes. One more big breath in. And let's roll it down on the exhale. Come on down. All right, friends, tuck your hands behind your knees, and let's take a few rocks and rolls. So rock it up and roll it down. And take a few more times. Rock it up, roll it down. This time, come up. See if you can balance on your hips. Try it a few more times. It's fun. It's playful. It doesn't have to work the first time or at all, but maybe one more time. Okay? Come on up. See if you can balance just for maybe 3 breaths. 1 breath in. And exhale. 2 more breaths. If you need to, put your hands and feet down, but keep that lift in your spine. Okay? 1 more breath. And let that go. You can drop your feet in front, lean back on your fingertips, and take some windshield wipers here. Let's find a very nice, comfy cross-leg posture. So just whatever works well for you. You can do a crisscross, applesauce kind of posture, or I really like pulling one foot in close to your hips and kind of putting the bottom of the foot down and the bottom of the foot up and the top of the foot down, and then tucking the other one in close to it. But if that's bad in your knees, just take those feet out away from you, okay? So find your seat. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes here. Maybe drop your fingertips beside you, or maybe you'd like to rest them on your knees. With your eyes closed, sinking equally into each sitting bone. Visualize the length of your spine. So see if you could get a visual in your head of what the bowl shape of the pelvis is looking like. Okay, weight on the sitting bones. The pelvis makes a bowl shape, and from the back center of the pelvis, rising up strong out of that, the low back. So could you put a little intentional lift in your low back as you visualize that happening? We have this rib cage, this miraculous protection system for our lungs, floating precisely over the hips. So visualize that and then arrange it to be so. We have these big plates, these two shoulder blades, drawing down the back. So maybe put a little extra draw downward in them. Feel your neck get longer and your chest get bigger. Okay, hold right there, keep breathing. Keep imagining that long spine. Okay, at the top of your cervical spine sits your skull. Could you put a slight tuck inward of your chin, making the back of your neck slightly longer? Relax your two molars, your two sets of back molars on each side, away from each other. And feel the top of your head moving straight up. Let's start to move and twist a little bit here, okay? You can keep your eyes closed. I'll try to use my words so that you don't necessarily have to look. So inhaling here, reach your arms up overhead. Remember to keep your neck long. As your hands go up, your shoulders go down. With your exhale, turn to the left. Look over your left shoulder and tap your right fingers in front, left fingers behind. Come up through center on your inhale. And exhale to the other side. Let's take it a few more times in either direction. So just find a tempo that suits you and keep going. Make sure it's nice and slow. That you're breathing through your nose. And keep the visualization of your spine in your head as you move and breathe. Okay, because we want it to be long, right, as we twist. We want that length in the spine when we're twisting. Okay, next time you twist out to the left, hold here. Let's just enjoy this a little bit. Find the length of the spine again, and then maybe deepen it a little bit. Maybe deepen this twist by taking right hand to the outside of the left knee. And you might judiciously, okay, respectfully, tug a little bit to deepen the twist and look over your left shoulder. Okay, so breathe deeply into the back of the right ribs. Wow, feeling a lot of sensations around that right shoulder blade. Maybe the left fingertips behind you push the floor for that extra length in the spine. And your belly is strong, pulling inward on your exhales. Maybe one more big, delicious breath here. And then we'll come back through center. So inhaling, all arms up. Remember, your neck is long. Exhale and twist it to the right. Pause here when your fingertips come down. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So maybe you want to deepen this side, deepen that twist, left hand to that outer right knee, and very respectfully pull on the knee to look over that right shoulder. Right fingertips might press the floor behind you to give you that much lifting oomph in your spine. Okay, remember, strong belly on the exhales. And breathe into the back of the left rib cage. And as you're ready, friends, we're letting this go. Come on back up to center, big breath in. And exhale, bring your hands down beside you. So hands floating out to the side. So level with your shoulders about, okay? And we're gonna start to draw big circles with our arms. So pointing out through your fingertips, okay? At the same time, plugging your arms into your shoulders. We wanna move the shoulder joint so that we can kind of roll out and erase any tension we might be holding in there. So if your arms get tired, you can always rest them, okay? Because we are gonna work them just a little bit, just enough. So pointy fingertips, plug it in, start to draw tiny circles with your fingertips. So they'll be really slow and small. And then we'll start to make them a little bit bigger with each round. So a little bit broader with each circle. Oh, thank you, that was good. A little bigger. Okay, remember, as the hands go up, the shoulder blades go down. So catch yourself doing that and drop those shoulder blades and start to scrape the floor. Start to bump your thumbs up top. The circles are now as big as they can be. Okay, should be feeling some great warmth in your shoulders and your chest, helping to release any tension that we accumulated there this week. And let's reverse these circles. Keep them big, but this time push through your palm to get a nice stretch in your forearms. Bump your fingers up top. Scrape the floor at the bottom. So big and circular. Do a little extra effort when you're pulling the hands back so that you can help release the chest. Okay, we'll start to bring them in a little smaller each time now. Nice and slow. Push those hands back when you bring them back. Smaller. And smaller. And smaller. And now they're getting pretty small. Go ahead and let the hands rest down on your knees. Take a moment to appreciate that great warmth in your shoulders. And this is a great time for us to roll the shoulders up and drop them down the back. Roll them up. Drop them down. A couple more times. And let's reverse that. Take it back the other way. All right, friends. Let's go ahead and stretch our arms out. After all that, it'll feel really good. So pat yourself in the back with your right hand. Okay? And the right elbow, as much as you can, point it straight up. If that's enough, just hang out right here. Okay? We don't want to overstretch your tricep. But if your tricep is okay with it, use your left hand to hold your right elbow and precisely point it straight up at the ceiling. Okay, remember you still have a neck, so if you catch your shoulder blades moving up, as they will, put them down. And if everything's going great, you can even point the right elbow a little bit to the left. But make sure it feels good, okay? No bad feelings ever on the mat. If everything's still going great, you can take your left hand behind you with the palm facing out and try to meet up with your right fingertips. If they meet, you can maybe clasp them together like this. Okay, I'm showing you what that grip might look like. Or you might just be reaching to touch fingertips. Either way, that's fine. Go ahead and go for it. And take a few breaths here with your really long neck. Sit up tall. And when you're ready, unwind from that. Take a moment just to let your shoulders soak it up. And we'll do the other side. So here we go. Left hand pats you in the back. Attempt to point the left elbow straight up. If that's all right and you're ready to go more into that tricep, use the right hand to point the left elbow precisely straight up. And maybe if you can keep your neck long, even further over to the right. Should feel good. If you've done any kind of planks or push-ups this week, then this is feeling good right now. If everything still feels good, take the right hand behind your back. Face the palm out away from you, okay? Put the back of your right hand on your back and start to wiggle your fingertips toward each other. And you might just be wiggling today. You might actually grab. Either way is perfect, okay? But plug in those shoulders to your shoulder sockets and breathe. Okay, nice release for that front of the right shoulder, okay? Left tricep is feeling good, but also that right feels good on the front of the right shoulder. Okay, as you're ready, release that. Rest your arms, just hang your hands onto your knees. And take a moment to breathe into your extra wide chest. Okay, we've just cultivated a big, wide open heart for you. As you're ready, friends, lean back on your hands. Take a few little windshield wipers here. Kind of walk it side to side. And if you get your legs straight out in front of you, we'll play around a little bit with opening up the backs of your legs. So start off with a little micro bend in your knees. If it's difficult to sit up straight and it doesn't feel right to sit up straight, maybe you feel like you're kind of hunching or you have to hold yourself, okay? No problem. Just pick up your knees more. You can pick them up away from the floor. So ideally, sit up nice and straight and tall here. Find out how that works for you. So once you're there, keeping at least a slight micro bend in your knees, okay? So you're never locking them out, not in this class, okay? Pull your kneecaps up and in towards your hips. So you're engaging your quadriceps, the top of your thigh, and your hamstrings at the same time. As a matter of fact, every single muscle fiber on both of your legs is firing, at least to some extent, because we don't want to stretch these tissues when they're passive. That could cause an injury. So ground your fingers in front. Make your longest spine, please. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, keeping your longest spine, just move your heart towards your feet. It doesn't matter how close it goes. Not at all. Okay? We'll inhale and sit back up straight and tall. Let's do that a few more times. Exhale, heart moves forward. So that big heart that we just opened up, move it forward as you exhale. And inhale, bring it back up. Keep it going forward. Maybe even close your eyes. Keep the quads active, especially, okay? A little secret that more we activate these quads on the front of the thigh, the more the back of the thigh, the hamstrings, is obliged to release. So use that to your advantage. And next time you lean the heart forward, hold and breathe right here. If you're feeling uncomfortable with the lengthening on the backs of your legs, bend your knees more, keep those quads active. Okay, it may be that after some time breathing here, you might want to come down to your elbows, okay? Maybe not today, So don't feel like you have to force that to happen. And maybe if you bend your knees, then that may allow the elbows to come down. So just play with that. You might even want to just drop your head and just let it hang a little bit, but try to keep the neck long, please. Try not to let it go completely. Feel the back body spreading open here. Big expansion in the back body. Heart moves a little further forward. Maybe enjoy one more long, slow breath in this lovely fold. And as you're ready, walk yourself back up and out. Okay, reach your hands for your feet here. Pull your belly button into your spine and see if you could roll yourself down in extreme slow motion. So almost kind of a caricature of rolling down. Pull the belly button in, control it, control it, control it all the way down. All right, when your head lands, bring your feet up in the air. And we'll circle the ankles out a little bit. So maybe let's do some circles with the ankles. And some figure eights. Okay, in both directions, try figure eights. And then maybe write some capital letters. Maybe write your name in capital letters. Okay, why are we doing this? Because it gets the ankles to do just about every movement that an ankle can do. Okay, so probably feeling your calves and your shins light up a little bit. And that's great. We want to massage all that out. Okay, and then allow the feet to come back down. From here, pick up your right leg and cross it all the way over your left. You may be happy just single crossing at the knees. Maybe you want to double cross at the ankles. You decide. With your arms out wide, just start dropping your knees over to one side and then over to the other side. And we'll just take a few breaths moving side to side like this, please. Remember to keep your shoulder blades grounded and allow your low back to ring out as far to either side as feels good. And next time your legs drop to any side, just pick one. Whenever they drop to that side, let them fall and hold and breathe right here. Maybe the hand that is close holds on to a leg just to keep it there. But we'll look away in the opposite direction that the knees are pointing. And take a few breaths here. A nice twist for inner and outer hip, low back. And then keep your legs crossed just like they are, right over left. We'll just swing them through center and drop them to the other side. Just whatever side you didn't do just now. Maybe the close hand grabs a knee, and we're looking away at the far hand. Breathe here. See if one side is more intense or tender than the other. Okay, that's always good information to gather for later. It's fascinating to notice how our bodies are so asymmetrical, all of us. And then allow that to rock back into center. And we'll switch to crossing now. So uncross the right. We're going to cross the left over the right this time. Maybe single cross at the knee. Perhaps double cross at the ankle. And we're dropping side to side again. Remember to breathe. I like to exhale when I twist and inhale back to center, but you play around with it. Just keep breathing. So this is a great glute massage. If you run or ride a bike, you'll be feeling this in your glutes and more than likely your outer and inner hip. Okay, next time you drop out to any side at all, just whatever side you did drop to, hold it there. Maybe the closed hand grabs the knee. We're looking away to the far hand. Hold and breathe. All right, bring the legs through center. Keep them crossed left over right. Drop them to the other side. Closed hand grabs the knee. Look at the far hand. Long spine on your inhale. Strong belly button pulls the spine on your exhale. All right, bring the legs back up and in. Let's take a little happy baby from here. Okay. So if you bend your knees up close towards your chest, reach between your knees and grab the tops of your shins. You can just start there. And you can just start by pulling your knees down toward the mat. So kind of opening up that inner hip space. And it feels nice to kind of rock side to side. This is kind of a silly posture, so just kind of embrace the silliness of it. Don't fight the silliness. Okay? If this feels great on your hips and you kind of want to open it up a little bit more, walk your hands down to your ankles. Try to pull the knees down a little more. And then maybe if you want to grab the outsides of your feet, then you can really drop the knees and press your feet out to the ceiling. And we're beginning to get a little bit more into the hamstring here. So find whatever happy baby suits you the best. And keep rocking and rolling, make it happy. And then let's play around with maybe extending one leg a little bit more. So bending one knee more, can we extend the other knee slightly? And try it on the other side. Bend the other knee, extend the other knee. So play around side to side. Does that afford you a little bit more expansion in the back of the leg? And if so, does it feel good? Maybe try bending and extending both at the same time. Try what kind of range of motion you have there. Okay, without any expectations is the best way to go. And the next time you bring your feet together, let's pause there. Maybe if you have, if you're grabbing your shins, just hold your feet together like that, okay? But if you are grabbing your feet, interlace your fingers and hold your feet. And we want to make sure we ground the shoulder blades, okay? Breathe here. Maybe if it's all right, you tug gently on your feet and bring them slightly closer to your heart. Feel your low back release toward the floor. And if that's too much on your knees, you can always grab the shins or the thighs. You can always modify this. As you're ready, let go of your feet. Extend your legs out nice and long. And find your resting posture. It might be Shavasana, long arms and legs, might be something else. Allow yourself to settle in here so that the breath no longer requires any effort. It's just going on its own without any control. Soft movements in the belly and the chest. Feel the breath moving in and out of your nose. With each inhale, you're more expansive. With each exhale, let go a little more of whatever you need to let go of. Find extra softness in your face, your jaw, your hands and feet. Find further softness on the front of your body. And even more softness on the back of the body. And be with yourself here. Isn't it nice just to have a little time just to lay and be with yourself? Just be present, noticing every sensation in your body. Notice every little sound around you. Watch every thought like a cloud float across your mind. Friends, please keep resting like this for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.